Alright, what the heck is going on with Boeing 777-8? What's wrong with it? Is it playing good or bad? Is the timing great, or is it just not what airlines want? Let's explore. Now, you may be familiar with Boeing's new flagship aircraft. So we have the Boeing 777-8 and -9. The -9 is the more exciting thing that we have been waiting for the past few years. It's featuring the new General Electric GE9X engines, the largest and most efficient power plants ever to be fixed on an aircraft. But then we also have its little brother, the Boeing 777X8. What is wrong with it? I mean, since 2013, a few orders have been placed, but then ever since that time, it has been losing interest. So what's wrong with it? Well, let's start off with the timing. So, is the Boeing 777-8 a good plane? Well, the short answer is yes, it is a very good aircraft, just that the timing is not great. So mainly, these Boeing 777X aircraft were made to replace the older 777s, including the 777-200LR and 300ER. But the thing is that the 300ER first had its first orders in 2004, and it's not even up to 10 years since its first delivery. So the thing is that the 777-300ER is relatively young. Now, the Boeing 777X has a very unique place in the market. The 777X is made to replace the older 777s, but also compete directly with Airbus's flagship aircraft, the Airbus A350 family. So the A350-1000 competes head-to-head with the Boeing 777-9, while also the 777-8 competes with the 900, but also the 1000 in terms of range. But then this timing is putting it in a little bit of a dilemma, because the way the 777-8 was not very interested in amongst airlines is that airlines are not really interested into selling or retiring the older 777s. So this is putting the 777-8 in a very difficult situation. So that's a straightforward answer. But what's the more difficult question to answer? Well, it's just because of its design. Now, the Boeing 777X has two main carriers, the most heavily interested carriers. They are both in the Middle East, Persian Gulf, which is Qatar Airways and Emirates. So both of them have got orders over 200 aircraft, even though Emirates is cutting down orders due to delays. But we'll talk about that later. So the Boeing 777X is mainly ordered by Qatar and also Emirates. Now, the thing is that these aircrafts are very, very robust and very big. So the Boeing 777X and -8 on your screen here, you can see the difference is that the 777-8 has a shrunken fuselage compared to the -9. Also, it carries a little bit less passengers, but then it's also matching equally in efficiency, but also gets a longer range than its older brother, the 777-9. So here's the thing, these aircrafts are very, very, very efficient. This comes at the cost of getting them larger engines than the Boeing 777-300ER. So these engines are large enough to put a whole 737's fuselage inside. What does that mean? The GE9X engine is large enough for a 737's fuselage to fit inside comfortably. Wow. Also, it has a new wing design. So just like the Boeing 777's rigged wing design, this one has also a rigged wing, but then also because the wingspan is so long, it needs folding wingtips, as you see here. So for conventional aircraft and also conventional airports, these standards must be met. So Boeing being Boeing, they were very innovative and made hydraulically powered folding wingtips, which shortened the aircraft's wingspan to a respectable level. Now, this also is very, very, very controversial, because in the Middle East is very hot, very low in humidity, and also has a very thin air. So it gets a little bit more difficult to lift these aircraft off the ground, which is why these are the most powerful engines in service right now, even though the GE90 is a little bit more powerful, because the GE9X, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, during testing had a maximum thrust output of 134,700 pound-feet of thrust. This is extremely powerful. But then for safety, it's only limited to 105,000, while the Boeing 777's 300 variants with the GE9X engines have a 115,000 pounds of thrust in the engines. Now, this makes the plane very, very heavy. So although these improvements favor Middle Eastern and Persian Gulf airlines like Qatar and Emirates, they're not really favoring other carriers like Lufthansa, Cathay Pacific, and British Airways. Those are some countries or airlines that have ordered the plane. So this puts in the 777-8 into a very stressful situation. But then not to worry, because there is some silver lining for this plane. So they have been mentioned that Boeing last year announced that there will be a 777-8 freighter variant instead of the Boeing 777-8 passenger variant. And also, this was very, very interesting among airlines. So some airlines like Qatar, Emirates, and also Lufthansa placed orders for these aircraft because they operate very, very old 777s, MD-11s, 747s also. And this aircraft is very, very unique in their market. So it's mainly going to replace the 777, I'm talking about. Replacing mainly the Boeing 747, the other 777s from the 90s, and also for some reason, it's actually going to replace the Airbus A380 because they're not from the same company. Also, Boeing was also planning to stretch the Boeing 777X-9 to a Boeing 777-10 variant, which would be the longest aircraft ever for passenger travel, which I think could be a reality considering the situation that we're in right now. Well, what about the 777-9? What's happening? We were supposed to get deliveries last year. It was pushed back about 3 times. So what's happening? Well, there's many issues with the engine, certification problems from the FAA, ICAO, etc. and also the airframe. There are a few stresses on the aircraft due to aerodynamics and other problems. But then these are being fixed rapidly. So maybe this year or maybe going to next year, we can get a very nice Boeing 777 flying in our skies, I hope. So what do you think? Will airlines gain interest as time progresses for the 777-8, and will the 777-9 be got into service by this year or next year? Or do you think that they should just scrap the 777-8? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So only time will tell what will happen to these aircraft, but I have high hopes for the 777-9 in particular because things are going quite smoothly, even though a few years ago they had a few speed bumps. They still have a few, but then things are going quite a little bit smooth. So now you know, for more facts about aviation and new projects that might not or might come into service you never knew about.